Okay, for this watercolor segment, I'm going to show you how to use the watercolors to make a nice little painting of an apple. The thing with watercolors is when you start, you're going to draw your, actually sketch out your plan. Okay, so I have my apple here. The thing is the pencil will show through your watercolor. But make sure that you are not drawing really dark so that the pencil will show through your paint. Very light sketch, that's all you need. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my resist and I'm going to put in my resist where my highlights are, because I don't want to put paint where my highlights, and I want to keep the white of the paper. So I'm just going to do this in some areas. If you wanted to, you can draw out the shapes of your highlights, but I'm just going to eye it and put them where I think that they're going to be hitting from the sun. Alright, now like I said before in the watercolor techniques, you need to work in transparent layers. So my first layer is going to be very light, and I'm going to start with some red, and in my palette I'm going to make sure that there's a lot of water in the pigment. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put down one layer of paint. And with watercolor you want to work fairly quickly. It's loose, it's fun. Let the paint do what it wants and enjoy letting the water just flow on the paper. Alright, so there's one layer. I'm going to come back in and I'm going to use a little bit more pigment and darken up some of the areas. And I think that I'm going to take some orange, because you want to layer colors, maybe some yellow. To get in there, a little bit more water. And if you would like, at some point you can use the saran wrap, the salt, depending on what kind of look you want to get with your painting. I like having lots of colors in my paintings, so you will see that I like to add all different ones to show depth, highlights. I think I'll put a little bit. Let's go back. I want to take this red out of my brush, because if you mix red and green you're going to get brown. So I'm going to get the red out of my brush, come back, get a little bit of green. If I want some hints of green in there, I can do that. Or maybe even some violet. I love reds, oranges, and violets together. And I'm going to put my dark values using the violet. There we go. And I would continue to build this as far as the layers go until I got it to the point where I wanted it. And I could take some blue, put it on a surface here so that's not floating. And in the end, I could take a dry brush and I can come in and add some finer details if I wanted to. So there's a good start for you to painting with watercolors.